In this video, we will describe the numerous ways of adding line items to a current quote. Currently, there are three main types of line items that can be added to a quote. The first, and most common, is adding a line from any of the suppliers that you currently have access to. To see the list of suppliers you currently have access to, using the Add Item option brings up a screen that outlines all of the available suppliers currently available to your search. In this example, the 6 items, ASI, Advent, Bell Micro, Ingram, Synnex, and Tech Data, are all examples of supplier price lists that have been added to your BOSS scenario. The bottom 3 we will describe separately. For now, most locations will typically have Ingram, Synnex, and Tech Data. These normally are updated daily, thus allowing product searches to be updated on a daily basis. When searching for product, we can use any of the fields to the left, such as description, part number, vendor number, UPC code, and manufacturer. Using the description, certainly a common search option, I can add a little or a lot of information depending on the type of search I want to do. In this example, by entering ThinkPad and indicating the 3 suppliers, Ingram, Synnex, and Tech, I will search just those 3 suppliers where they have a description with ThinkPad anywhere in the description. The results of that have returned more than 3,000 hits. If I want to further refine that search, I can use the search again, go back to my description, and add to this, let's say, notebook. And now I'll be searching where the words ThinkPad and notebook both appear anywhere in the description. Hitting the search button now returns only 20 hits based on that combination. Once again, when using these fields, you can use any one or more of these fields at the same time. You'll notice in the bottom left there is indications of using a comma as an OR clause and a space as an AND clause. In this example, I put ThinkPad space notebook, thus meaning that only return hits where description has both the ThinkPad and the word notebook somewhere or anywhere in the description. We also mentioned the number of suppliers on the right-hand side, and as I mentioned earlier, you can simply pick and choose which of these you want to search on, and you certainly can search on all of them if desired. Again, back to our search results. In the example, with 20 hits coming back, we can now see the different examples of what exactly has been returned. The information presents to us manufacturer, part number, description, on hand, cost, retail, and total, to name just a few. In most cases, the on hand column, if it's based on the 3 main suppliers, Ingram, Synnex, or Tech, should reflect how many on hand that supplier would have had early in the morning. Each day, most of these suppliers, the main 3 suppliers, will provide updated quantities on all of the products. That includes the cost as well, which is normally updated on a daily basis. Other suppliers, less commonly used, such as Bell Micro, Advent, and maybe ASI, may not show that kind of information and would reflect often a 0 on hand, but with an accurate cost. Once we locate the item in question, simply hit the Add button in the bottom left, prompts us to add how many units, we'll say 2, confirms the cost, and if desired, we can change the sell price, and either prompt or add a recycling fee if required. In hitting the OK button, we've now added a single line item with 2 units to our order. If we go back to Add Item for a minute and mention the fact that these are the key suppliers often most locations will have, but at times an additional supplier may be required. When additional supplier is required and it's not part of your normal search engine or search results, that's where fourth party becomes an option. If we go up to the products menu under fourth party, this is a separate list where users can add additional items if required. Basically, if a supplier is not available in your search list, you can come into the products list and locate them here. In adding here, we can say, for example, add a new type of product, who the supplier might be. Let's say, for example, Acer for buying direct from them, and simply update the general information required from them. Acer monitor, let's say. selectors, manufacturer, retail, cost, and additional information. Once we've created that item, we now can search on that either within the fourth party list or using the same search engine, F10, fourth party can also be located in this search environment as well. Again, fourth party is an option allowing us to add additional items that are not available from the primary suppliers that we normally deal with. The second type of item that normally is searched on would be a stock item. You'll see that stock is one of the additional items under suppliers, and this would represent any items that you may have currently in your inventory. You can search it as we have before, or you may just want to list all items in stock. To list all items in stock, simply leave all the fields blank, check off the stock, and hit the search button. And this returns a list in this example of over 900 items currently available in our stock or inventory. Notice too the difference in color that represent that this is a stock item. Also notice that the first column, which we refer to as the source, did say supplier in our previous search, but in this example it is reflecting stock, thus indicating that it is a stock item that can also be added to our quote. Again, hitting the add item brings up the same environment to add one or more items, indicating cost and adding that directly to our quote. The third and final example of an item that we can add would be a non-product item or a service item. Again, you'll notice that that's an available list on here, and we can simply check that off with nothing to the left, indicating showing us all service items currently in the system. Commonly, things such as config charges, fees, agents, other things like that, non-product related, are examples of service items. Also notice, if you will, the source column now reflects the word services, indicating, of course, that it's not either from a supplier, and it's not, of course, a stock item. If we wanted to add a config charge for a server build, we can simply hit the add button, indicate the same kind of information we had a moment ago, and hit OK for that. In editing or modifying our service items, we can access that list directly under the Products menu in Service Items. This reflects the same items you saw using the F10 Add Item search screen a moment ago. From here though, if we wanted to add an additional service charge, we can use the New button and update additional service charge if required.